What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video of HVAC shenanigans. We got this guy moving slowly in front of me. We got the sun rising up here on the east side. I have a rooftop unit to work on and it's minus 17 degrees Celsius outside. No big deal. That's the trade I got into. I'm gonna show you one part on a York rooftop you have to change every time, in my opinion, and a lot of other techs' opinions. You gotta change it every time you do a heating repair on a York rooftop. We'll get into that when I get to the site, and I'll tell you exactly why. But in the meantime, I gotta change a venter motor. Some people call it combustion blower, some people call it induced draft motor. I call it venter motor, that's just the way I was brought up. And I gotta change an ignition module and get the heat going on this thing. Well, let's get to site and I'll give you that tip on that part that you have to change, in my opinion, every time you work on a York rooftop. This video is brought to you by Harago.com, a trades-only platform helping you find the right job or the right candidate. Harago.com, best in trade. Okay, so we're gonna get this motor changed out. It still works, but it's noisy. The reason I'm changing it is because I don't want to be back here. This is preventative stuff, guys. We want to prevent issues from happening when we perform a maintenance and we make a report of a unit and what's wrong with it and what we could do to make it better to prevent things from happening in the future. So we're gonna change it because it's noisy. Okay, this is not sparking. It's not creating a spark, so we're gonna change the module. We're gonna change the rollout, and I'm going to tell you why I change the rollout every single time I do a heating repair on a York rooftop unit. Okay, I'm gonna change the flame sensor. Now, I could just clean it. Yeah, you're right. But because I'm here already, I'm gonna change it anyway. The sparker, yeah, sometimes I change those too, but we have a very strong spark from that. Very, very strong, so I'm not worried about it. So I'm gonna change the flame sensor, the module, the rollout, and this motor. Let's get to it. So now what I suggest you do is remove the module from the mount, okay, and just kind of get it out of the way as best you can, but leave all the wires on, all the wires that you can. And then you put the new one on here, you just go wire for wire. Now, there's a lot of cases where you need to change the connection points out, but these are not rusted. They have a little bit of dirt on them. I mean, that's not a big deal. They're not rusted. I'm gonna clean them up with a rag and just get them real nice. We could change them. I don't see a need to change them here. I really don't. But you have the option to do that if you like. What I do suggest though is when you pull them off and you're about to put them back on, you look at the connection, okay? And then if it's a little bit loose, you just take your linesman or some needle nose and you kind of pinch them down. So when you insert them back on, they're nice and tight, and give them a tug, right? That's what I would do. And this is how I'm gonna do this one. So I have the new one in place, and just like I said, I just moved the old one out of the way, left the wires on, so now I can just go wire for wire back into this, making sure that the connection points are nice and tight when I pinch them down with my linesman. So the module is pretty much changed out. I'm going to show you what I mean by tightening with your linesman these connection points. So we just kind of want to squeeze a little bit, not too hard or you'll never get it on. Just squeeze to tighten that up, and then insert it, and you can feel it going on much tighter, and just give it a tug. Give all of them a tug as you go down to make sure all the connection points are nice and secure. Now, the reason I change rollout switches is because in the past I've been burned by specifically York rollout switches, and I'm not really sure why that is, but I'll come to a unit, the module will have power on R1, which is the rollout terminal, and it'll have power on the TH terminal, saying that it's ready to go, but it's not sparking. I come back, change the module, and it's the same thing, nothing happens, okay? And then you go over to the rollout switch, you check it, you have power in, power out, but when you jump it out, then the module starts to work. So it's almost like we lose some sort of path of current through this rollout switch at some point as they start to corrode or start to deteriorate over time. So changing these out is worth your while on every single heating repair, even though it might not be an issue. And just keep in mind, if you come to a unit that the module is receiving power, but it's not working, don't assume the module is the problem right away. Check your rollout switch, jump it out, and make sure the module works after that. If it doesn't after that, then you most likely have a problem with your module. But always change The rollout switch, when you do a heating repair on a York rooftop, that's the lesson that I've learned over time. The reason we can't just throw out the whole assembly and we have to get the wheels off is because we have to recover this plate here. And we have to recover these spacers, okay? And in order to recover this plate, we need to get the wheels off so we can remove the plate from the scenario. So now that we've got the wheels off of the old one, we got this plate and the spacers off the old assembly, now we can go ahead and put this all together. Just a word of caution, guys, you need two wheels with this thing and they're different, okay? If you look at them, they're both upright, but the curve on the blades are different because this is the bottom one here, okay? The bottom one sits in here, all right? And it blows out this vent here. The top one, this insulation's seen better days, the top one sits in here, but obviously it needs to rotate this way. So we take this one and we flip it upside down. So there is a top and a bottom wheel, so you guys just gotta be aware of that. So you wanna be very careful with your clearances on the wheels because you don't have a lot of space there, and we wanna give the wheel a spin in the direction that it's supposed to go just to make sure it moves freely. And then when we put this cover on top, we should be good because we do have quite a bit of space there to work with. So we're up and running here. Okay, I just have these taped off for now. I ran out of zip ties. I gotta go get some more. Got the amp probe on the motor, it's good. We got both stages of heating running. Everything's good here, guys. Happy HVACing.